Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This video today is actually going to be something informative, first time home buyers. Um, just a little information about what I did in order to purchase my house. If that's something you're interested in, please follow the video and yeah, I'll just inform you about a few things. So start off with the first thing we did. We ended up going to the bank and found out what loan we were accepted for. So we did that process first, pull up about 4 weeks worth of pay stubs. I think the rest of the process they do, your credit and all that stuff, just to see where you would range in the loan chart or whatever they call it. And then soon after that, once you get that amount, then that's when you find yourself a realtor. We found a fantastic one actually, and he was actually very knowledgeable, very understanding. And we would just look through Zillow and Realtor. These are all apps that you can download on your phone. I can't remember if we downloaded anything else, but I know both me and my wife have to go through that process of the credit finding and all that through the bank. So that way they know what loan we were accepted for. And then that's when we both decided to download the apps, and we were both looking to see what were our taste in houses and what we were looking for. We knew that we didn't want like a fixer-upper. Definitely not. I am not a carpenter by any means. Or, anybody who is handy. There was a time where I used to do stuff like that, like carpentry and putting up, sheetrock and all that. Unfortunately, I do not have that skill. I didn't really stick to it, so it just didn't really stick. Can I put a nail to the wall? Absolutely. But that's as far as it goes. So we knew we didn't want a fixer-upper. We knew we wanted kind of like, just walking in and kind of like, it's already done, just ready to move in, and, that was that. So then once we found a few houses we wanted to see in the area that we wanted to see, because then we also had to pick like from 5 miles away to 10 to 20 to 25 miles away. Furthest we went 25 miles. We actually found a really nice house over there, but unfortunately it was a little bit out of our price range and make any sense. Like, it was like, we don't really know anybody in this town. Like, it's just way too far. Like, this is not it. But it's gorgeous, it's nice. So anyways, back to the whole process of looking for the house. A few houses in the area. So then we looked around. We found a few that we loved. We loved the backyard. I'm picturing like some that I remember seeing. The backyard. We love, that the rooms were, nice and big. And, we were looking for a 2 to 3 bedrooms and definitely 2 bathrooms, if not 1 to 1.5 bathrooms. But if it had 1 bathroom, it would definitely have to have, say, 3 bedrooms, or say the bathroom was really big. It just had to make sense to us. So we started looking around. We looked around the area, and we found that there were some that were very intriguing to us that we wanted to put an offer in, but we weren't trying to rush into anything. So we kind of wanted to keep our eye out and then just kind of like, let's see what's out there, and then we'll make our decision. And this was, fortunately for us, this was a time where it was a buyer's market rather than a seller's market. There was a lot of inventory out there that we got to see, and there was some that were kind of disappointing because you saw the pictures online and then you went into the house and you're like, this is not what the picture looked like. It looked pristine, and over here it looks like it's rough. And there was one that in particular that I walked in and it had a very weird smell, and I was thrown off completely by that. So I ended up like sitting outside on the bench and then just waiting for my wife to just kind of do the roaming around. And at the time we ended up like bringing a few people with us, for our tours and stuff like that, just so that way they get a feel of what we're looking for and all that. Um, the first one we saw was near the area of where my sister-in-law lives. And it was nice. It was tiny. It was for a small family, maybe just of three, which is fine because, that's what we are now. But, we want a bigger family. So, um, we were thinking, beyond like that. So we were like, okay, so it has two bedrooms. The house was quite tiny. And then the thing that threw us off was they had a sub pump. So we were like, oh, well water, all that stuff. We were like, no, we're not interested in that. So it was a nice house. It was definitely fixed up. It was definitely updated. But it was definitely tiny. So then once we decided on, we brought it down to two houses like that. We saw it towards the end because we saw that they had potential, these two houses. And one of these houses is the one that I'm living in now. And then the other one was a potential house. It was gorgeous. It was, I think it was a one family house, but it was like the kitchen and the living room, and there was a bathroom downstairs, and then there was the laundry downstairs. But then when you go upstairs, when you go upstairs, you will have the bedrooms. So, and then the bedrooms were pretty spacious. The only thing that was a one-off for me was that there was rugs on the floor. It was completely rugged. Upstairs, I don't think downstairs. Downstairs was just like, plain old. Which I think is normal for houses, but I like, because I feel like rugs, like, they tend to suck in like bacteria and all that bats, and I'm not interested in that. So that kind of threw me off a little bit, and I was like, okay, well, it's not too bad. It had a super big backyard. Um, and then we saw like in one of the bedrooms, which should have been our bedroom if we would have gotten that one. That one had like a picture of an ultrasound. And we were like, oh, this might be a sign. And then so my wife thought that. So then we ended up, what was the next step? So the next step would be to put an offer. We put an offer, not on that one, because we ended up coming home, and then we ended up thinking financially, like we were writing down certain things and what we can budget out and all this, see what we can afford. And I don't know that the houses were that different in price range. I think one was like 10,000 more than the other. Not sure why, because come to find out, both houses were near the same area. Like the house that we were looking at originally is 10 minutes away from the house that we are now. We ended up budgeting and all that. Finally, we ended up figuring out that we can probably put offer in for the one that we are now. Then we ended up getting in touch with our realtor. Our realtor reached out to our mortgage broker. And then our mortgage broker was the one that dealt with all that financial situation. So then he informed us about probably like, I want to say we waited like, was it like a day or two? I want to say like a day or two we waited, and then we got the response. This is what your percentage is going to be like as far as the mortgage goes, like the interest and all that. Um, this is what you're going to be paying monthly. I think our realtor was, well, he was the one attending our sit down where we had to sign all the papers and all that stuff. That's when he told us like how much we should bring for closing costs and all that. So once we settled on like the payments and all that, then we had to, there was a lot of paperwork that we had to provide. You had to show proof of employment. We had to like submit like pay stubs and all that. I'm not sure what else we submitted, but I know they sent us like paperwork that we had to sign. So like there was stuff that was emailed to us that we had to check off and kind of electronically sign. Um, so that was all information that was signed and sent off to the mortgage broker. And then so all of this process basically took about, I want to say 2 to 3 months total. And then finally, I guess we rushed into our house. We sent in the offer, and then we got a response from the seller. I guess they had a couple of offers, um, or a few offers actually. There was like a bidding war or something going on. And we were like, no, we're not interested in bidding. So either they're going to take our offer or not. And then, we'll just figure out something else. Our real estate guy recommended that we write a letter to the seller, basically saying why we love the house and what are our plans with the house, like what are we doing living, what are we going to do living in there, like so we basically wrote a letter, or my wife wrote a letter, and she was like, we absolutely love the house, like we actually see our family growing in there, and it's a livable house, it looks great and all that. So we sent that letter in, and then I guess they took it into consideration, and they said they were going to take our offer. So then finally, when they took our offer, then that's when the process started. We had to get a inspector. So they had to inspect the house just to make sure that everything looked good. And, like for instance, they looked like under the oil tank and all that, just to see if there's like oil or something under there, like, like leakage or something. And then, they look around the house just to make sure that there's not like anything crazy happening. And he said that everything looked good. The first time, so there was a first time where he came in and he was not willing to do it because unfortunately they had like bins and all that happening in the basement where he wanted to see. He came a second time, and that's when we were here waiting outside just to see like how everything was going and all that stuff. And then finally, he said everything was good. He gave us a report. He sent us a report basically saying what he checked and all the information that he had about it. Then after that is when we had the final walkthrough. And then, because there was like a rug that they had down that they had like tape underneath it and stuff. So we had to make sure that they took that off. I think that was the only thing that we requested, that we just, that they take the rug off with the tape on it. So that way it doesn't like mess up like the wood that's underneath it, which really I don't think is real wood. It's more like those like the new tiling that's coming out now. So that got done. There was just a few things that I think they said something about it hanging on the stairs or something like that, something that the inspector looked at, and he was like, this is an issue, so they have to fix that. So it's just like minor things that they had to fix. And then finally, once that got fixed, then we got to the process of actually buying the house and knowing, like, we got to meet with the lawyer, and then the realtor was there, and then both me and my wife were there. And then we just signed a bunch of papers, way too much papers. You're basically signing your life away. And then once finished signing the papers, then we got the key, and then our realtor, said congratulations and all that stuff. And we officially got the house. So it doesn't sound as bad as, I don't know if I made it out to be sounding bad. It was a little rough, especially with our mortgage broker and stuff, because he wasn't on top of. We got word of mouth that he was going through something personal and all that. So that we understood. Maybe he should have had like an assistant or something like that, like dealing with the questions that, the people that he was working with had. But unfortunately, he wasn't, like, in my personal opinion, he wasn't on top of his work as our realtor was. Like, our realtor was like not there for a beck and call, but like he would literally like text us like 2 minutes later, and he would be like, hey, like, I'm sorry, I was with a customer or something, like, like that. Like, he was just on top of it. We had questions for our mortgage broker, and he didn't get back to us for like 2 to 3 days. We were kind of disappointed in that fact, but overall, the whole process wasn't bad. It was just a waiting game, basically. So you're just constantly just waiting and waiting and waiting for answers. We ended up getting the key. Then we ended up doing another walkthrough on our own just to make sure that, everything was looking good and all that. And then I think once we came in that night, then that's when we decided to like clean up a little bit before we started moving our furniture and stuff. So if you have any questions about anything in the process of buying a home or something like that, write down in the comments any questions. I don't know if you guys have been noticing my glove in my hand, but unfortunately, I was making some eggplant parm last night, and I ended up cutting my finger. So it was just blood mania, and I just had to pop a Band-Aid on it. And then I put the glove on there just so that way it's like, the Band-Aid is secure. I should have just cut off like the piece, but in the rush of it, I just put on a glove and it was fine. I'm cooking, so I might as well just cover it up, basically. So for those who are wondering, my weight loss is going great. I don't want to say the number yet, so that way I don't get, in my head, I get discouraged or something like that. So I am just gonna wait until I figure out like where am I headed with this, because I tend to plateau at a certain weight, so I don't want to get myself excited and then like be disappointed. So I am just gonna go with the flow and then just hope for the best. But for those of you who do care and wonder what's happening, I am losing the weight and I am sticking to my diet. I did have some one-offs here and there, like since the last time I checked in with you guys, I had a couple parties that I went to, so I'm trying to stick to my diet even while I'm at the party. Unfortunately, with my brother-in-law's girlfriend's baby shower, I kind of like just fell off there. They had like a brunch theme, catered food situation happening there. And I had like, waffles, and I had biscuits and gravy. So that wasn't on the diet agenda, but unfortunately, um, bad habits die hard. So, so I ended up eating that and all that. And then, just recently we had a party for one of our friends, like family friend. Actually, it's family. So one of our family members, and I think I actually did good. The only thing I ate that wasn't good was probably like tortilla chips or something like that. That's because they had like some kind of dip or something. Oh, they had the artichoke dip, but then they had like some kind of cream cheese marmalade that was like spicy or something. I don't know what was happening. So I ended up eating some of that and then some of the spinach and dip. The spinach and dip was fantastic. The spinach and artichoke dip, sorry. I have coming up an unboxing. I'm not sure if it's going to be my next video. I ordered a few things from Temu. I'm going to be ordering some more things from Temu. So as far as what I can see, it looks like you guys are like, conversational kind of videos, like vlog kind of a thing. Like I said before, like if you guys are interested in any other kind of content, just let me know so that way I can create that kind. I have some news about my channel. I don't know if I'm definite on this, but I think I'm gonna go towards this. So you guys let me know down in the comments if you guys still want to see some kind of videos like this. But I'm thinking about sticking to my passion, which is baking, decorating, and for my son's first birthday party, I think I'm gonna be making, I don't know that I'm gonna be making the cake, but maybe like sugar cookies. I might be making those. So I might be making videos for that. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know down in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Give it thumbs up so that way, people who are looking to be informed about mortgage and home buying and all that, they get informed. Yes, I'm in my son's room again. I have to keep an eye out on him, so if you see me looking that way, it's because I have my camera on him. He is actually taking a nap right now, so that's good. I still haven't finished my son's room, and I mean, technically we have stuff in here, we just gotta paint. And I'm not sure if we have to get to it, but I don't know if it's gonna happen anytime soon at the moment. So get started on the painting and stuff or before I get started on the painting, I'll show you the before and then I'll show you the after, because we're still trying to get it together basically. So if you got this far, you got to the end. So I want to say thank you for subscribing, and thank you for liking this video. Just make sure you hit that bell so that way you know when I upload another one. I should be uploading one soon. Thank you for staying, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.